use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another, and to create a strong opening and conclusion. And her time limit today is 5 to 7 minutes.
Woo-hoo. So everybody please welcome Michelle up to the podium. I'm sure this is going to be exciting and may involve some Harvard exchange students.
Ms. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I guess we have no guests today. Are you ready for adventure, excitement, travel, and some awesome views? Well, grab your clothes, grab your tent, and let's go. Oh, I guess I need to tell you where we're going. That would be a great idea. Well, we are going to Big Bend National Park. If you don't know where it is, let me show you. My handy dandy Texas. Anyway, so it is in what I call the dewlap of Texas, the little finger here, down in this little area. So the Rio Grande River goes right along here. It's the international border between Mexico and the United States. And the park, the national park, sits right in there. Today, I'm going to tell you all about it because I'm excited about our trip. I'm going to take my 2 exchange students, hopefully my niece and hopefully a friend down there. We're going to be tent camping for like 3 to 4 days and some expeditions in there. So today I'm going to give you some information about Big Bend if you don't know anything about it. I'm going to tell you about the facilities, and then I'm going to tell you about the adventures, which are at least the most important part to me. So before I do that, I am going to pass around some pictures of Big Bend, and you can swipe if you want to, or just look at the first page while I'm telling you about it. So Big Bend is one of 59 national parks. It was added to the national park in 1944. And this year is the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service. So they're really trying to get everybody to see the national parks also. It is 800,000 acres or 1,200 square miles. That is larger than the state of Rhode Island. So it's a huge, massive park. It has several areas called the Rio Grande Village, at Chisos Mountains, Chisos Basin, and then it has the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive. And that contains a really cool canyon called the Santa Elena Canyon. That canyon has cliffs that are 1,500 feet tall that the Rio Grande goes through. The Chisos Basin has mountains, and the elevations in the Big Bend Park start at 1,800 feet above sea level to 8,000 feet above sea level. Now the park is pretty desolate. It's actually, there's deserts, there's forests, but there's not a lot that you think of. But there are a lot of animals, and the animals there are mountain lions. Of course, you've got to have rattlesnakes in Texas. And I'm probably seeing this javelinas, I think that's what it is. It's the boar. And also, there are black bears. They've returned. They weren't there for a long time, but they've returned to the area. Also, there's 1,200 different species of plants. So there's a lot to see, a lot to do. The facilities that are there are campgrounds, which even RVs or tent camping, which will be in the Chisos Basin. We'll get to look out to the window to see the mountains as we're camping. So it's gonna be so cool. There's also the Rio Grande Village, which that has campgrounds also. It has a camp store, it has convenience store, it has a lot of different things just to make it easier. And of course there's trails around the Chisos Basin. There's 200 miles of trails just in that area. So those are some of the facilities that are there. Oh yes, and if you really don't want to do the camping thing, there's lodges and the restaurant, but they're pretty basic as I see it. So the most important part are the adventures for me, because I'm an adventurous person. So I like to do anything that just gets me outside. So we are going to do a river adventure. We're going to either raft or we may have to do a canoe depending on the water level, because it changes depending on upstream how much water is released. The next thing we're going to be doing is doing some hiking. And with all the trails, one of the trails that I want to do is the Santa Elena Trail. So we will be hiking about 1.7 miles and getting down to the floor of the Rio Grande, and we'll be able to see that tall canyon that I told you about, 1,500 feet sea level. So it's really going to be beautiful. There are many other trails, Window View, which is a very basic one, but you get to see the Chisos Mountains. And we will be doing one that has hot springs in it, so we'll be able to dip our toes into 105 degrees water. All of those things are going to add up to a really great adventure for us. And I just wanted to share this with you. I wanted to give you the chance to feel like you're along for the ride with me. And so pack your bags and let's go. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. You just put that on my list of places to go. Fun fact about the Indian store in Big Bend. So my parents went last